topical issue, fear of the warrior, a witch hunt plan. Today I'm going to talk about some of the experiences I got, and is teaching about what has been happening in the spiritual realm around. The time I left the place I was forbidden to be in and came here, things were happening, and those who were chasing me realized that I was not protecting myself. I was very weak. I could not be able to protect myself. But there was a stronger force that was protecting me from them. They could not get to me. So when I entered the first time, I told you I came with my late sister by then. So she was able to listen to what the mad in quotes man told her, and she was able to grasp, and she went frightened. So there was the threat of the axeman. Somebody who would come and would always say, you have been chased from Nakuru. Dare go back to Nakuru, because it will be an affront. In fact, it was, you have been banned. So I was banned from Nakuru because I purportedly wanted people to die, and certain people felt I should be out of there the way I had gotten out of there. I should never go back for anything. There was that angle. And I told you that time I did not know many of the things were coming in psychic, but there were talks, a lot of noise, and people watch videos nearby. So there would be a lot of talk within. And there was this guy who was always talking of the axe. This axe has come from wherever it has come, and it has to go back with blood. And you, our goat, now me, their goat. And my family members, their chicken. We have to go. This time, nobody would be left like so. And the little inheritance. So I was wondering what inheritance, because the time I had left, and mostly it was centered around a small piece of land that I bought there. So it was being said, this is our piece, and any other person who can survive you and inherit this thing will have to go. And the saga continued. After some time, I realized people would come from outside and disappear. You know, a compound, public where people stay, you can never know who comes in and who goes out. But there were those who had been chasing that physically, because of what God had surrounded me with, they would be very fearful. So one time in the evening, people went asleep, people slept, and you know, there was that idea of, you are paranoid, you are not okay. So you cannot be able to tell anything. So there was this argument of people jumping over, should come over, jump over, and invade the house. It appeared like it was in the mind. But as it went by, there was this argument that some people would come and others were sending others, just go and shoot at everything. Jump over, shoot at everything. I told you there were thugs that had been following me and many other things that you could not be able to understand. And this argument persisted. Then those who were behind were saying, now, how do you order us to go and fire at death? And it went like that, So a time came and some people had come to the compound and I came and they fled. But there was a plan that now was being hatched. I couldn't understand what it was. And the plan was that the way to deal with this guy is to start a witch hunt. I know who are saying that? The witches and the wizards in the area. You start a witch hunt. I didn't know how it was to work, but that was when the witchcraft attacks would start. You find things arranged and you so when you are removing them, you appear to be the wizard. And there was to be that within those processes, if it keeps on happening, because many of the things could not work, call out the wizard. So I was being called Omfumu. Now they were giving me Luya tags. We are in Luya land. And that was that. So there was a night scare one time. And somebody came and shouted, real shouting. These were now not psychic. You are the one who is boasting here trying to scare people. You will have to move to your village. Otherwise, we shall come, cut your head, and we shall move with your head on a pole. You are a wizard. So I started getting scared. But I told you when I left that place, God had taken care of me. God had shown his mind. I felt the power of God. If it was not for God, I'd not be here. Be sure. Even now, I could not be talking. You would never have heard anything from me. You would never have heard anything. So those things went, and some of them would say, when my wife was passing by, my wife's story will be another one, another time, not in this series. An issue that happened when, that is for another time. But for now, let's talk from there. So, some people looked and they were saying, this lady has a lot of flesh. I didn't know a lot of flesh because, you know, in the African custom, most of us who used to admire, so I thought that was what they were talking about. But what was really going on, they were talking about flesh for eating. I didn't realize that. So later, there came somebody who was repairing the seats. That time I was within. I could not leave the compound. And there was a hypnotism of some sort. And after the person repairing, the person was supposed to get the money and go, but he was coming from some place across the border in Uganda. Those who repair. Some people come this far also. This is almost across so now the problem was, this guy, this lady, the thing that was being said, has to go. And this guy will be left stranded. That time I didn't even know the town. So, true to it, she got angry and said, now you always sit in the house and whatever, and things like that. This place and things that you're going, I'll be going. I'm going to Uganda. I was surprised. 2, I knew there was a witchcraft attack and a hypnotism attached to it. So she didn't go to Uganda, but she got angry. There was a small and she disappeared. She didn't come back. And that evening, there was a lot of spiritual activities that were happening around my area. And that's when I realized they are spirits, they are real. They are malevolent spirits and benevolent spirits. I told you when I was in Nakuru, I was attacked by a genie. That's when I realized they are malevolent and benevolent. It's interesting. So as I was there in a quagmire with some little food that had been left with the children, and you're wondering now, what do I do? She's not come. I didn't need, the phone has been switched off. You don't know any other person. You are there. And there are the things you are hearing are, if that does not happen, then eventually you shall be gotten here. You don't know how to get out of the place. And when that was still happening, there was a pull and push in the spiritual realm. And I was left praying because that was the only thing I could do. You are not getting anything, that you have applied for your early and you don't have anything. So as I was in that state, I was shown that this is hypnotism. But strange enough, some spirits said, do not worry. Wherever she is, she's very safe. We are taking care of her. Ever heard of that? And I could not sleep. I prayed, and there were spirits assuring she will be. The following day, she did not turn up the whole day. That day I had to go because the only place I knew was where she was now doing her business. And the spirits assured me she'll be okay. Go, and when you pray, you will undo the spell. So I went, looked for somebody who used to, got me on the motorbike. By then, I would not, it's not a very far distance, but time I used to get a motorbike, move. So moved up to the place, and she'd left for a while, had gone to attend some other people who had been there at funeral, and they wanted their friends to attend, and she had attended. And when I entered the place, she wasn't there. And I got there ragged, rough as I was that time, because I used to appear semi-mad. Sometimes people think of that. And did exactly what I was told. I got there and prayed. And within 5 minutes, I felt something had broken. Something had broken. And after a while, I called and the phone was through. They had gone to a funeral, and when she came, the first thing that she was introducing those who were there was, this is my husband. This is my husband. Anything that I told her, she told me, go home, we shall be coming back home. You angered me. And I went home. And sure enough, she came back home. But the spell, according to the spiritual realm, was she was to disappear and disappear again, completely. So that thing was broken. The spirits that were defending were the benevolent spirits, because of a certain thing that was supposed to happen, that was supposed to affect. I think if it's not the country, something greater than that. And that was the beginning. Let that be my take for now on that one. Then we proceed with the next one.